Hello and welcome to episode 9 of Let's Play Planet Coaster here on Theme Park Worldwide. It's a big episode this one because I'm going to finish my take on Jaws the ride, and along with that of course I'll share a POV of the finished experience. I've been working on some voiceovers and things as well, so that'll be quite fun to stick about for at the end. And of course I'll be working on the rest of the area itself, Amity Village. Now I did mention in the last episode how my hotel building at the back, what originally was going to be part of like a city backdrop, maybe in Hollywood or New York, is actually now going to be part of the Amity Village. And I did say in the last episode that the Amity Tower Hotel will be the name for it. I always look at the comments on these videos. I love seeing what you guys suggest, and yeah, I loved that idea and that name as well. So like I say, I'm now incorporating that into this area. Originally Amity Cove was just going to be a small little area off to the left hand side with just the one ride in it, which is of course Jaws the ride, whereas now I think incorporating this other attraction into the area makes a lot more sense actually. So I can open it up, and you can see here that's what I'm starting work on by opening up the lake just there, having this little section out the front, and it also means that I can make it look a lot more picturesque out the front just here. Now obviously Jaws, a lot of it is based on a beach, and that isn't something what I've got round here, so you can see here that I'm removing a few of the trees there to make this look a lot more tropical. Obviously this was going to be a transition area between like a Hollywood style backdrop into Amity round the side, and so obviously that's a complete changeover, but you'll see throughout this I'll keep coming back to the village part of it and adding numerous different buildings and scenery around there as well. Obviously you've got the lake, which is out the front there of what is now the Amity Tower Hotel, and so it means that I can put a few fountains on there, make it look really picturesque, and obviously play about with the story for that, which I'll work on again in a few episodes. Yeah, like I said, in the next episode I want to move on to my other area, which is going to be a bit sci-fi. It's going to be Back to the Future, and that's going to sit on the right hand side. But yeah, in this episode I also want to create a bit of a berm around this area, and if you're not too sure what that is, it's basically like a hill what we plant loads of rocks and trees on top of, just so it blocks out that next area. The best people at doing that, of course, in my opinion, Disney are very good at it. Literally they'll build a themed area and then build a berm around it, and you'll walk through it into your next themed area. That's what the tunnel is on the right hand side that you'll see every so often here. But yes, one of the newest berms that Disney have actually built is for Toy Story Land and Star Wars Land. So they've built like a hill around the side, and then they've put all rocks, fake rocks and trees, all that kind of stuff on top of it to cover up the area. And I really like doing that. It separates the areas off nicely. Originally I wasn't intending to go down the themed areas route with this park, but it certainly seems to be going down that way now, and that's just how it's developed over the past 9 episodes really. Obviously I started off with my Mediterranean entrance with the big coaster down there. Of course you got the tram tour, and then this now is the area of Amity. So in a way I feel like I should kind of keep it with the themed areas now, or loosely themed anyway. So here I'm starting work on some new buildings. Of course Amity Village will extend all around here, and then you'll have like the fishing port, which is where your tour will begin on Jaws the ride. And like I say, I was really pleased with the response it got. I'm glad you guys watched it, and it brought a lot of new people to the Planet Coaster series actually, with me doing Jaws, so I'm glad you enjoyed it. If you're watching after last week, welcome to Theme Park Worldwide and welcome to this series. And like I say, I'm really enjoying doing this park. It's something very different to what I would normally do, and yeah, with this episode, when we go back over to the attraction in a few minutes time, it's more going to be about looking at it in real time and doing lots of different time triggers, special effects, and also changing a few bits, removing a few bits that I actually did in the last episode. From looking at your feedback, I realised that of course there was a few bits in there what I could maybe do to make it look a bit more realistic, but I'll talk more about that when we get back over to the ride. So for now I'm working on these buildings just here, lots of different styles. I want like some brown and white buildings around here, and yeah, a bit of a mixture. You'll see that I do change the colour of those every so often, just to sort of freshen it up and make it look a bit better as I carry on with this. But yeah, I want like that to be like a restaurant, have a bit of a fake seating area on the top just there, and that sort of thing. And of course there'll be lots of different facilities in these buildings as well. I want lots of food and drinks, an information stand, toilets, probably a staff room as well, because obviously we're going to be opening this park. Probably after I've done Back to the Future, I may open the park and just see how it runs and then close it again whilst I work on the rest of it. But like I say, it's not going to be a huge park. After I've done Back to the Future, probably 2/3 of the park is done, I would say. And yeah, I'm just going to sort of bring it back round the other side of the tram tour and connect it back up down with the entrance. But there you go, it's coming together nicely. You can see a bit of fisherman's fence going in down there, another building cropping up in the queue line for Jaws the Ride, and that's what it is with this game. It's about building up lots of different layers and different scenery items that, yes, you know what it's going to be in the long term, but it takes time. You've got to add different things to it to build it up and make it look really good. But I'll leave you over the next few minutes, then I'll come back to you when we go over to the attraction and start making a few changes and additions to Jaws the Ride. Did you like the little hot dog stand that I put in just there? It sort of had to be done, didn't it, when we're loving hot dogs when I go to theme parks. But here we go then, back over at Jaws the Ride to do lots of new additions to it in terms of special effects, triggers, making sure the timings are perfect, and also changing a few bits as well. So first, let me just talk about what I've changed. So I've actually removed some of the shark animatronics. A lot of people said that it'd be more scary if there was just sort of one shark in each of the scenes. So now of course you've got 3 shark attacks, the 2 major ones, and then of course the little one at the start, what sort of triggers off all the story, and you'll sort of hear that later on with my voiceover, which I've done in the POV of the finished ride. Obviously I want a few more special effects around as well, and as you can see here on the right hand side, I'm actually triggering these. So if you see that number 2 what I'm dragging there, basically when the boat passes over that point, them fountains that I've just put in there will activate, and obviously I want to change that, so as soon as it's come out of that stopping scene just there, the boat will move forward, and there you go, it'll activate the little fountains that we've got just there. Obviously I can change those, I could have them on for like half a second if I wanted to, or all sorts. Obviously with this one here now, I'm putting in lots and lots of mist. That's another thing what someone said in the comments. I was planning to add quite a bit of mist anyway, but yeah, it really does like add a lot of atmosphere, this does, especially as you come through that cave just there. Bear in mind this will be a very tense part of their experience on the ride, and they'll come through the mist and just of course see on the right hand side that you've got the boat there, and of course your shark attack. So yes, instead of having the 2 sharks there, now there's just the one on the right hand side, and then the final shark scene attack is on the left hand side, so it makes it fair for each side of the boat. Again, timing is key just here. You can see there that I'm adding some water effects to make it look even more realistic when the shark attack happens. Obviously just there, moving it over, thinking where does the shark come out of the water, and just dropping that down in there, and then there you go, the shark will emerge from it and do that big scare. Obviously there's more things to be timed around here. You've got the water tower on the left hand side just there, and this is another triggered effect. So basically I want that to fall, which then knocks the little jetty underneath it, and then that obviously collapses as well. But it's about getting the timing right, like that just there. So obviously that water's going to come out, and then the jetty will collapse into the water as well. It's all the little things that I really like here. We've got a little fire effect going in just on that canister. It's not really got much of a purpose, it's more just a fact of adding a big fire special effect in there. And obviously I can decide how long that effect plays for. I could have it going for 10 seconds, or I could just do a little half a second blast like I have just there. One of the biggest changes here is at the end of the ride. You can see I'm removing some of the rocks. There I actually had my shark that obviously in the end gets attacked by a grenade. That's me just messing about there with a few different ones. And yeah, you can see I'm changed this completely. Originally the shark was there, obviously you had all the blood going into the water, raising up like a smoke machine. It just didn't look very realistic after looking back at it, after filming the episode. So I'm making a few changes to this. I'm moving it a bit further round, and I'm sort of going to be a bit sort of more blood in the water, that sort of thing, instead of it all sort of raising up in the air. And I'm going to put like a steam effect on it, because obviously it's a grenade that's being chucked at this shark to kill it. It's more like it's boiling sort of thing, you know, instead of like it's being shot, and that you've got this big sort of smoke cloud going into the air. So yeah, it's me just having a bit of mess about with lots of different effects. Obviously the mist looks really nice in certain places, other places it doesn't look as good, so I'm just changing a few bits. Like I said, then I get the steam there, the boiling steam, and I think that's a lot better effect. It looks a bit more realistic. Obviously it's sped up just there, so it does look quite fast. Obviously when it's not sped up, it goes at a better sort of speed. Then of course we're going to have this big finale effect around here, which is going to be a big explosion, and this is of course the grenade being chucked in. The story goes that you've had this shark attack, we need some help basically, but luckily someone at the side has chucked in this grenade, which has then killed the shark, and that's like the moment of rejoice where everyone's like, we're alive. So yeah, you can see I've moved it a bit further around to the left. I did actually take out a small little building there just so we could do that. But this little hotel, the white building on the left there, still acts to cover that up before you actually get to that scene. So yeah, this is the big explosion. Of course, it doesn't actually need to come from the shark itself, because you're not going to actually see the shark blowing up, so to speak, the grenade being chucked at it. So literally, I'm just triggering it now. So when the boat gets to that point, the effect goes off before the boat gets there, and then you turn the corner, oh wait, there's the shark. So the explosion's actually taking place a lot closer to the boat than it is the shark, but obviously you can't tell that because of the position of the building. Here again, I'm just adding some more water effects. As much as there's now only one shark attack on the left hand side instead of 2, I wanted there to be a few more sort of water explosions here. For the people sitting on the right hand side, I just wanted impact for everyone on the boat. So you're coming along, yes, the shark attack's on the left, but then a few seconds later, bang, bang, and you've got these water blasts coming out of the water. And you can see just here as well, putting in some more mist down near the start. It's all starting to come together really well now, and you'll see over the next few minutes finishing off the landscaping around here. I mean, look at that, so impressive now, all them effects, bam bam in a row, and off we go sort of thing. God, that rhymed, I didn't even intend for that. But over the next few minutes you'll see me here just putting in some more rocks and shrubbery. I don't show you too much of this just here because obviously it's a lot of landscaping on this ride, a lot of what you've already seen in the last episode, so I didn't want to sort of bore you with all of that just there. But yeah, it's coming together nicely. Moving on to some of the other parts of this ride then now, of course the main entrance itself, you can see there adding in the signage, Jaws, the ride, going in there, slightly different font for the ride just underneath. And this is like a bit of a boat stories that I'm putting on top there. I'm going to add a couple of rowing boats on top, and put a little sign on there about boat storage, just to give it a bit of a feel, really, because really you are going on this dodgy tour company. That's the story to this. It's a dodgy tour company what are taking you in waters where they shouldn't be, all around Amity Bay and Amity Harbour area, and of course it's an area of natural beauty. That's what I'm going with the script for this one. Turn that boat round there just so it looks a bit more realistic. Obviously that's just like some sort of storage area really for the boat. That's why they're raised up. Put a little sign on there just so it gives you a bit of a feel, doesn't it, really? Like, oh, we're going into this boat storage area, you know. But yeah, I like that. You'll see over the next couple of minutes as well, I start to add a lot more signage. I love putting in little subtle signs and little hints to things and all that sort of stuff. And a lot of real parks like doing that as well. And you can see that's exactly what I'm doing just here. See, Amity area of beauty. And obviously finishing off that building, putting on the windows. Of course, I'll finish the walls off at the top that's there now. And yeah, it's all about sort of tying this project together really now. Because yeah, like I did a lot of it in the last episode, but it's sort of tying it together, adding some signage. Obviously, I've put all the lighting in. There's still a few bits of grass in areas that I need to cover up and put shrubbery and rocks on. And yeah, just sort of tying it all together nicely now. And that's what you'll see over the next couple of minutes. So you've just seen there over the past few minutes, adding more details to the village of Amity, all these different buildings around here, lots of different shrubbery, rock work, working on the berm around the edge of it as well, just to make sure that it's all covered in round here, and you'll see some more of that in just a moment. But yeah, I'm really pleased with it actually. It looks a great area of the park. It's got a nice sort of community feel to it, all these little buildings all around together, And yeah, I'm sure I'll come back and add even more details at some point. I'm thinking like some banners up, maybe some bunting hanging across the area. But in general, I'm really pleased with what I've got here so far. And of course, it leads me just to work on the Amity Tower Hotel at some point. I'm not going to do that next. Like I say, I'm going to start working on my next area. But I've got a lot more ideas for that now than I did a couple of episodes back. And I'll certainly come into that and have a look. But yeah, here's what I'm on about in terms of adding that landscape. And I just think it's really important to make sure that it's landscaped really well. It's supposed to be like a tropical area, a bit of a beachfront. Of course, there's not like a massive beach in the park, but yeah, just adding to that. And of course, that's the tunnel and the berm just there, which will lead through into my next ride in the next episode, which will be Back to the Future, the ride, which is going to be a roller coaster, an indoor roller coaster, which I'm looking forward to building. I might go for like a Gerstlauer Eurofighter because they're quite compact. I think it'll work well indoors. So come back in the next episode for that one. But yes, it's near the end of this episode, and of course, I promised you a POV of the ride with a bit of funny audio from me, and I've put it all together. I hope it makes you laugh. Here's some shots then of course, the area, and in a moment, I'll share with you this on-ride POV of Jaws the Ride. I worked on it in episode 8, and of course, in episode 9 here as well. I'm really pleased with how it looked. I'll see you in the next episode where we'll start work on Back to the Future. But here you go, take your seats and enjoy your experience on Jaws the Ride here at Ocean Bay Studios. See you in the next video. Please keep your hands, arms, feet and legs inside the boat at all times.
This is Base. You're cleared for departure, Amity 6. Have a good trip.
Thanks, Control. Welcome on board Amity Boat Tours. We've been conducting safe tours here since 1974, and what you're about to witness is the stunning natural delights, an area of natural beauty in Amity Cove. See them buildings up ahead? That's the quaint village of Amity. It's been a fishing village since the late 1950s, however now it's become a tourist hotspot with various different cafes, shops and other facilities. It's also home to our gift shop, so if you've enjoyed your tour today, make sure you check it out. It's located on Shark Street. If you enjoy your tour with us today, don't forget to ask about our extended Cove tour in collaboration with the Amity Tower Hotel. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now arriving into Amity Cove, the area of natural beauty. We're now entering some of the deeper water. This means along with the stunning scenery, you'll also get to see some fantastic marine life. Various different species. Of course, nothing will harm you, but please remember to keep your hands and arms inside the boat at all times. Is that clear with everyone? No need to panic, everyone. I'm going to just radio back to base and just find out what that was over there. I'm really not too sure. Let me just pull up ahead and yeah, let me radio back and see what they say. Amity 6 to base. We've just spotted another shark in the water. I need to keep it quiet. Have you seen Steve's boat up ahead? I can't see him.
We copied. He can't be too far away. He was headed back in. We're picking up his distress signal now. Keep an eye out for him. I'll call Chief Brody. Base clear.
Okay, folks, I've just spoken back to base. Everything's fine. We're going to continue the tour. And yeah, get your cameras ready because we're going to see the old water supply units just on the other side of this cave. Now, the building that you can see up ahead was built in 1914 and is the water supply unit. However, it's not been used for the past few years. There's been some sort of issues with people getting to it on the boat. Is everybody okay back there? I can only apologise. I'm going to move us forward into some safer water, and I really don't feel comfortable doing this job anymore. I've not wanted to do this for a long time. We're going to move forward into this safe little village, and I'll get everybody off the boat. How does that sound? Don't panic, everyone. It's just some rubble. I'm heading up into the shallow waters now. We'll pull up here on the right-hand side. I will radio base and get them to pick us up by land. Stay alive,
Hey, what was that? Where the heck are you? This is Brody. Are you alright?
Everything's fine now, Brody. We had a few shark attacks, but a bystander threw a grenade in and he's now dead. So we're all fine. We're all okay and we're making our way back to base. Thanks for travelling with us. Well, I say us, I'm not going to be working for this company anymore. The fact that they're sending boats out into dangerous water, I'm not doing it anymore. I'm just not prepared to carry on with this. Thanks for travelling with us, folks, and I'll see you all soon. Enjoy the rest of your time here in Amity Cove. Please remain seated until the boat has come to a complete stop. Thank you.